Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Amritpal Singh. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi replies to the motion of thanks to the President's address in Parliament, highlights the significance of trade deals with major economies, leading to stability and growth at the global level. India's Ministry of External Affairs says energy security is the country's top priority. India is open to new crude options, including Venezuela. And US and Russia agree to re-establishing high-level military dialogue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today replied to the motion of thanks to the President's address in the upper house of Parliament. That's the Rajya Sabha. Highlighting India's expanding global engagement, the Prime Minister said that the country is signing future-ready trade agreements with several nations.
बड़े-बड़े देश भारत के साथ व्यापारिक संबंध बनाने के लिए बहुत ही आतुर है। यूरोपीय संघ का ट्रेड डील हो, अमेरिका के साथ अभी अभी हुआ जो ट्रेड डील हो, और कल हमारे पीयूष जी ने सदन में विस्तृत जानकारी भी दी है, और पूरा विश्व खुल करके इस ट्रेड डील का तारीफ कर रहा है। और उसमें जब यूरोपियन यूनियन के साथ ट्रेड डील हुआ तो विश्व को एक भरोसा हुआ कि अब वैश्विक स्तर पर स्थिरता की संभावना बढ़ेगी। अमेरिका के साथ ट्रेड डील होने के बाद विश्व को और भरोसा हो गया कि जो स्थिरता की एहसास हो रहा था, अब गति का भी एहसास होने लगा है। अब विश्व के लिए शुभ संकेत।
Prime Minister Modi also underlined that there is a conducive atmosphere for strong manufacturing ecosystem in India.
जब आपके पास आर्थिक सामर्थ्य हो, आपके पास आपके नागरिकों के अंदर, देशवासियों में एक ऊर्जा हो, और खास करके मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए एक मजबूत इकोसिस्टम हो, तब जाकर के विश्व आपके साथ डील करने के लिए आगे आता है।
India and the Gulf Cooperation Council, or the GCC, have signed the terms of reference for a free trade agreement in New Delhi today. India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said that India's agreement for free trade agreement with 6 GCC countries will open another major trade corridor.
When we are signing the terms of reference of yet another free trade agreement, this time with our friends from the 6 nations which comprise the Gulf Cooperation Council, the GCC. Many of us are aware that discussions have been going on for nearly 2 decades, that 2 trading partners, as His Excellency Dr. Raja Marzoki just mentioned, 2 trading partners who have been trading amongst each other for over 5,000 years. It is most appropriate that we now enter into a much stronger and robust trading arrangement.
And India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said that a joint statement on the Indo-US trade agreement will be issued in the next 4 to 5 days. Goyal also said that a formal agreement will be signed around mid-March.
बहुत ही सार्थक चर्चा चल रही है भारत और यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के बीच, जो हमारे दोनों नेताओं ने निर्णय लिया है। हमारा पहला ट्रांच बायलैटरल ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट का लगभग तैयार हो गया है। हमारी उम्मीद है कि अगले 4-5 दिन में हम एक जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका और भारत के बीच में फाइनलाइज करके साइन कर देंगे और उस जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट के आधार पर शुरुआत हो जाएगी हमारे दोनों के बीच में इस समझौते की पहली कड़ी। साथ ही साथ एक फॉर्मल एग्रीमेंट ड्राफ्ट हो रहा है जिसको शायद महीना भर 1.5 महीना लग सकता है और उस फॉर्मल एग्रीमेंट को मिड मार्च तक साइन करने का अंदाजा है। लेकिन 18% जो यूएस टैरिफ्स घटने हैं वो जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट अनाउंस होने के बाद एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर द्वारा यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका कर देगा।
The Ministry of External Affairs said that ensuring energy security is supreme priority of this government. Addressing a press conference, the spokesperson of the ministry said that India remains open to exploring commercial merits of any new crude supply options, including from Venezuela.
The government has stated publicly on several occasions, including me here, that ensuring the energy security of 1.4 billion Indians is the supreme priority of the government. Diversifying our energy sourcing in keeping with objective market conditions and evolving international dynamics is at the core of our strategy to ensure this. All of India's decisions are taken and will be taken with this in mind. Consistent with our approach to energy security, India remains open to exploring the commercial merits of any crude supply options, including from Venezuela.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar spoke at the Critical Minerals Ministerial Meet in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, stressing the need to secure and diversify global supply chains for critical minerals. Jaishankar underlined the challenges of excessive concentration and importance of de-risking supply chains through structured international cooperation. He highlighted India's efforts towards greater resilience through initiatives including the National Critical Minerals Mission, the Rare Earth Corridors and responsible commerce. Jaishankar also conveyed India's support for the Forge initiative aimed at strengthening cooperation on critical minerals and ensuring reliable, sustainable supply chains essential for future technologies. Forge is a US-led international trade bloc designed to secure critical minerals and reduce reliance on China.
It was a very good discussion. Critical minerals is a very important subject. The US has been a partner for some years. Today they launched a new initiative called Forge, which we have supported. It's a kind of successor to the Mineral Security Partnership. So I think overall, to me it was a good meeting, very productive, very outcome-oriented, very business-like.
The United States and Russia have agreed to re-establishing high-level military-to-military dialogue as per the Pentagon. This decision follows the expiry of the New START Treaty, which was the last remaining pact limiting the two nations' nuclear arsenals. The agreement to re-establish the military dialogue came after productive and constructive progress, that's the language used, at the Ukraine peace talks in Abu Dhabi, attended by Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner. Campaigners have warned the nuclear weapons treaty demise could unleash a new arms race between the world's top nuclear powers and encourage China to expand its arsenal. Russia and Ukraine wrapped up the first day of the second round of the US-mediated negotiations in Abu Dhabi on Wednesday. Zelensky has said that negotiations between Ukrainian, Russian and US teams in Abu Dhabi have not been easy. President Zelensky added that Kyiv wanted to see faster steps towards ending the conflict. Meanwhile, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has said that Russia remains open to a peaceful settlement but will continue its operation until Kyiv takes what Moscow sees as necessary decisions. Russia and Ukraine have exchanged 157 prisoners. Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff said that was the outcome achieved from the peace talks that have been detailed and productive. Witkoff noted that discussions would continue with additional progress anticipated in the coming weeks. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is seeking to deepen strategic partnership in the Gulf as he begins a 3-day trip to Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. His visit comes at a time when Germany's relationship with the United States is becoming increasingly strained. For more on what is at stake, let's turn to DW correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu in Berlin. Chiponda, how important are Germany's ties with these Gulf states that the Chancellor is visiting?
Well, Germany's ties with the Gulf states are very important. And just last month, both the country's economy and environment ministers visited the Saudi capital, Riyadh. And on her visit, the economy minister, Katharina Reiche, said, quote, when partnerships that one has relied on for decades begin to become a little fragile, we must look for new partners, end quote. And now the German Chancellor is there to deepen ties with Saudi Arabia and its neighbors, Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. This is really about Germany seeking closer ties with other countries around the world as its relationship with the United States becomes more unpredictable.
And what are the key goals of the Chancellor's visit?
The three countries that the German Chancellor is visiting, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the Emirates, can become closer partners for its energy needs. This trip is about deepening economic ties and securing reliable agreements in that region. Now, the Gulf nations have already been supplying oil to Germany for decades. And in recent years, that supply has become even more crucial for Germany ever since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Russia, which was also once Germany's biggest supplier of liquefied natural gas, LNG, accounts for around 10% of its overall gas supply today. And the United States is actually now Germany's biggest LNG supplier, and it accounted for 30% of Germany's LNG supply in 2024. But Germany does not want to slip from one dependence to another, and that is why it needs the energy exporting countries in the Middle East. It could buy more LNG from them in the future.
Well, thank you, Chiponda Chimbula, for joining us from Berlin and giving us that input. And still to come up on this edition of DD India Live, the UN Chief Antonio Guterres praises India's AI leadership. Public exposition of sacred Devni Mori relics of Lord Buddha inaugurated in Colombo.
Always welcoming. The vibe.
हो गया इंतजाम।
किसका?
गुड्डी की फीस का।
दिखा। 20,000 का लोन तुरंत। पता है कौन दे रहा है, ब्याज कितना है? लोन विनियमित संस्थानों से ही लें और कर्ज उतना जितनी जरूरत, वो भी जांच कर। हो गया इंतजाम। पगार एडवांस में भेजिए।
आरबीआई कहता है
सही वित्तीय बर्ताव करे आपका बचाव।
मैसेज डियर इन्वेस्टर, एक एक्सपर्ट स्टॉक टिप खास आपके लिए। ये ऐप डाउनलोड करो और पैसे डबल करो।
एक्सपर्ट जी, बदमाश का बाप हूँ मैं। ऐप डाउनलोड करने से पहले मैं आपका पूरा रिपोर्ट कार्ड निकालूंगा। मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
डिस्टेंस। यूपीआई कहता है अगर कोई ऐसी सलाह दे तो पहले एडवाइजर की पूरी जांच कर ले और कहे मैं मूर्ख नहीं। जाइए, आप भी किसी का टेस्ट लीजिए।
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Amritpal Singh. 8 trucks and ambulances moved towards the gate at Egypt's Rafah border, crossing with Gaza on Thursday, following its reopening earlier this week on Monday. Reopening the crossing was one of the requirements under the October ceasefire that set out the first phase of Donald Trump's plan to stop fighting between Israel and Islamist Hamas militants. In January, Trump declared the start of the second phase, where the sides would negotiate the shattered enclave's future governance and restructure. Days after mounting pressure over the appointment of Peter Mandelson as Britain's envoy to Washington, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has publicly turned on his former ambassador. Starmer launched a scathing attack on Mandelson, apologizing for having believed what he called Mandelson's lies before appointing him in December 2024, despite already known links with Jeffrey Epstein.
I am sorry. Sorry for what was done to you. Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him. And sorry that even now you're forced to watch this story unfold in public once again. But I also want to say this. In this country, we will not look away. We will not shrug our shoulders. And we will not allow the powerful to treat justice as optional. We will pursue the truth. We will uphold the integrity of public life. And we will do everything within our power and in the interests of justice to ensure accountability is delivered.
India is set to host the India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi on the 19th and 20th of February, marking the first global artificial intelligence summit to be held in the global south. The Summit 2026 will focus on principles of people, planet and progress, and aims to shape a future where AI advances humanity, supports inclusive growth and protects the shared planet. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who will attend the summit, has praised India's leadership, calling artificial intelligence a critical issue in international relations and one of the defining challenges of the present time. Take a listen.
I do believe that AI is today an absolutely crucial issue in international relations and one of the biggest challenges of our times. So it is very important that countries come together, discuss it also with the civil society in all kinds of circumstances. And I praise India for having assumed the leadership in relation to this summit.
Commemorating 50 years of long-standing and multifaceted India-Seychelles bilateral ties, the President of Seychelles, Dr. Patrick Hermine, arrived in Chennai, the capital of Tamil Nadu. This is President Hermine's first visit to India since assuming office last October. The visit coincides with the 50th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. During his visit to India, the President of Seychelles will meet President Draupadi Murmu and hold discussions with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. According to a 2026 annual report of the New York-based Human Rights Watch released on Wednesday, thousands of people have been arrested on political grounds under Bangladesh's interim government, with many held without trial and routinely denied bail. The report said that hundreds of Awami League leaders, members and supporters remain in custody as murder suspects, including actors, lawyers, singers and political activists. The report also highlighted a major crackdown following the clashes between Awami League supporters and student protesters on February 8 under a campaign Operation Devil Hunt, which led to at least 8,600 arrests. Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake inaugurated the public exposition in Colombo of the sacred Devni Mori relics of Lord Buddha brought from Gujarat. The relics arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Colombo from Gujarat via Delhi and were later taken in a special motorcade to the Hunu Pithiya Gangaramaya temple following religious observances. The public will be able to venerate the sacred relics round the clock at the historic Gangaramaya temple from Thursday until the 11th of this month. The exposition coincides with Sri Lanka's 78th Independence Day, which was marked on Wednesday. As exam season draws closer, the country's most awaited student-centric dialogue is back. Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026 is now in its 9th edition, is lined up for the 6th of February, bringing reassurance, clarity and confidence to millions of students across the nation. Here's a detailed report.
For millions of students, examinations often mean anxiety, self-doubt and sleepless nights. Pariksha Pe Charcha addresses this reality head-on, reminding students that stress is natural but fear is optional. What makes Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026 truly unique is its new format. This year, the Prime Minister invited students to his official residence, offering a warm and informal setting of an open exchange on exams and life lessons. Prime Minister Narendra Modi focuses on practical wisdom, how to manage time, overcome fear of failure, stay focused and believe in oneself. His message is simple: exam test preparation, not personality. Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026 reaches beyond the capital. Interactions were held in Coimbatore, Raipur, Devmogra in Gujarat and Guwahati, ensuring that guidance reaches students from every corner of the country.
Examinations are just around the bend, and the Pariksha Pe Charcha then cannot be behind that. This year, we are having the 9th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha. And something unique has happened this time is that more than 4.5 crore students, children and parents have registered themselves on the MyGov platform, because they're all waiting to hear as to what the Honorable Prime Minister has to tell them. This is a unique intervention conceived and conceptualized by the Honorable Prime Minister.
With over 45 million registrations, this year's response reflects deep faith in the program. Students are not just watching, they are actively seeking direction, motivation and emotional support. The 9th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026 will telecast on 6th February 10 a.m. Pariksha Pe Charcha is more than a broadcast. It's a national conversation that replaces anxiety with assurance and pressure with purpose. Pariksha Pe Charcha 2026 stands as a reminder that success is not built on fear but on balance, discipline and self-belief. It tells every student you are more than your marks and you are never alone in this journey. Kriti Vadera's report for DD India.
And that's it in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. The app is available both on Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on your screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Amritpal Singh from my entire team here in Delhi. Thank you for watching DD India Live. Bye-bye.